Good morning. You can tell it's morning because I am making bread. So today I'm going to show you how to make hamburger buns out of my special layered sourdough bread dough. Alright, so here we go. I have a pan here lined with parchment paper. And here is the bread dough that we put away in the bag a couple of days ago. So it is ripe and ready. Was our third fold. You can see it, nice and neat. We don't need all this bread. It's way too much food. So we're going to take and cut it in half. So there we go. That's a little bit of a better view. All right, so we're going to cut the dough. About half right there. And this stuff is fantastic. It is just like Play-Doh when you're done with it. And you can see the layers that I have put into this. Can you see them? They're great. When the dough starts to puff up, you'll be able to see them even better. So I take the remaining dough, wrap it back up in some parchment paper, and in my plastic bag. It's a food grade freezer bag. That's going to go back in the refrigerator. Now, as for this wonderful, beautiful dough, I'm going to flatten it. I'm going to take the parchment paper that it is resting on and try to, there we go, fold it over and flatten it out into more of a square shape. Now to flatten it, there we go, better. To flatten it, you just press with the roller. You don't want to roll it. You want to flatten those layers of butter in your dough. So you're just going to press, trying to make this a larger area, which it will be. You may have to give a little bit of pressure. This is quite a bit of dough, and it can take it because we haven't even proofed it yet. We're getting to the point where we're just using this like Play-Doh putty. This is a wonderful dough. Alright, so we're just going to roll all this out. We flattened it pretty much, trying to make it a little flatter. It's not quite big enough. We'll roll all this out in a moment. Can't see it from there. All right. All right, now I am going to adjust the camera just a little bit so you can see what I'm trying to accomplish here. So what I have here is the dough. It's a nice layered dough, but I want it big enough to cut 3 of these. So right now I am measuring it like so. So there's something in there. But we're just going to keep pushing and squeezing that dough to make it bigger and flatter. There we go, just like that. Turn it and flatten it. Yeah, this is taking a little bit longer than I expected that it would, but that's okay. Perfection takes time. All right, it's almost big enough to make 3 of those buns. This is for my hamburger buns. I am just trying to get it so that I can shape out my buns. That's where the magic really happens. Well, I guess the magic is here. Maybe before, when I was making the dough. Anyway, here we go. I want to kind of roll it a little bit because I've been smushing it and it's got little ridges. I don't want those ridges. I want a nice even dough. I'm going to flip it over. See how beautiful that is? Look at that. And it handles so well too. Alright, stretch a little bit more. We can make this a little bit bigger so we can get at least 3 buns out of there. Maybe 4. We'll shoot for 4 because they're great leftovers. Alright, so almost rolled out enough. Let's see what we have here. We have a beautiful dough. A little bit like pastry dough. You can kind of see the little butter and stuff in it. Okay, so we're going to measure 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, we're going to start cutting. Just going to take it on the outermost edge. You do really kind of want to make sure you cut those edges off and not incorporate the rolled edge into your burger. You want a little bit of edge there. And the reason is because these layer up so nicely. Little movement to get it out. Okay. No need to add flour or anything extra. Just use your cookie cutter here. The dough is very pliable, very elastic, and not sticking to things. All right, so again, kind of wiggle it out of there. There we go. Nice. All right, one more. Last one. All right. All right. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now this leftover dough will be fine. We'll put it back in the bag and we'll use it for another recipe later. Just going to roll it into a little ball there. And just put it in my bag right next to the other one so I don't confuse it. It'll be fine in there until the next recipe. These little leftovers are great for like crust for pot pies and stuff. I can show you how I do that later. Alright, so now I've got, remember when we did the recipe, this recipe calls for a separated egg. So here we go. This is the egg white mixed with an equal amount of water. And I'm just going to lay my little cutout biscuit dough in there and dip it, rotate it, and place it on the parchment paper. Separate it because they are going to get bigger. Alright, so there we go. One more, last one. There we go. Okay, so now we've got these nice and even. I do want them to be a little bit more perfect. So I am just going to dip this in there and just kind of turn it around. This will get it nice and even. It's also great for spices because the spices don't go everywhere when you do that. Alright, so this is the time when I add the spices and add just a little bit more of the egg mixture to the top. So I'm just going to pat the top of these biscuits with a little bit more egg mixture. You can see it's in there. And I'm going to, this kind of keeps it from going everywhere. This is garlic I'm sprinkling on. You can't really see it, but there's garlic coming on. And then here's some onion. And last but not least, is a sprinkle of sesame seeds. Then move it and move on to the next one. Little garlic. Come on. Its jar is almost empty, so it's kind of like scraping the last of it out here. There's only 3 in our family, so we make 3 buns. I don't generally use leftovers. I'm a real proponent of portion control. This one's not quite round, it's more oblong. See if I can fix that. There we go. Yeah, so we don't do leftovers very well in this house, so it's better just not to make too much to begin with. So everybody's going to get 1 burger. Because they're pretty substantial. I make my own burgers. I grind my own meat. I go down to the store and buy the cheapest, leanest cut of beef I can find, solid piece. Bring it home, soak it in a tablespoon of sugar, and there we go. A tablespoon of salt and water for 3 days, and grind it up and shape it into burgers and serve it with these delicious little buns. Now these will get quite big. I probably won't show you a video of what they look like after they're done, but I may attach a photo. All right, enjoy your burgers.